Baseball-Halloween is back. Omaha Storm Chasers in Warner Park coming up on October 22nd.
Are we? I mean, we talked to Marty about this. I think it's over 10 years they've been doing this. This is like the event, and it's back after 2020.
I know. Ugh.
Right? And like you said, if you want to come out in full costume, bring out the family, it's free admission. The gates open at 5:00. And he says the way they see it, generally they're kind of waves. The younger ones generally come a little earlier, and then the older kids a little later. You don't have to do that, though. You can come out anytime between 5 and 8.
And spend the whole 3 hours, but you need to RSVP. In the link, there's a link in our description of this podcast. You can also go on our Facebook page. We shared it there as well. Or go to Omaha Storm Chasers Facebook page. Click on the link and RSVP.
Exactly. And Hurrdat very proud to be a sponsor this year of Baseball-Halloween, along with a lot of other vendors that are going to be out there, and they'll have their little Chotsky tables, and Pat and I are going to be out there too, and we want to see you.
See you guys October 22nd.
Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
All right.
Well, hi, everybody. 402-403-9478. That's our phone number. You can call, leave voicemail, text us, or on Facebook or Instagram. It's Pat and JT. You slide into our DMs anytime you want.
All that good stuff. So couldn't avoid the headlines. I don't even know where to start because the Kardashians are back at it again.
Why?
Kourtney Kardashian got engaged.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To Travis
Barker.
Barker. And which was funny because the other day one of the girls in the office said, and don't forget Travis Scott got engaged. And I'm like, Travis Scott didn't get engaged.
Yeah.
Did Travis Scott get engaged?
And I heard
like,
them
wait a
say,
minute,
I heard them say
because
that. I'm thinking, Kourtney got engaged to Travis Scott. I'm like,
it's like, no, Travis Scott was with Kylie.
Right? No,
right? Or Kendall or whichever.
One of them.
I'm like,
all of them, probably.
He's already taken by one of them. He's got a Kardashian. It had to be a different one. And so Travis Barker.
He's a squirrely looking dude, by the way. He's got the longest neck.
I think it's accentuated slightly.
The tattoos don't help.
Because of the tats.
But he just looks like he has just the longest neck on the planet.
Like a giraffe.
Yeah.
And I saw the pictures of their engagement, and it looks like he was being all romantic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought, oh my God. So I started kind of digging around just a little bit. Let me pull him up here real quick because I didn't have his open. But I didn't realize she'd never been married. She has never been married.
Yeah, she was with Scott Disick for a long time, and they never married.
Yeah, isn't that 10 years?
Yeah.
And they never got married. And I was like, well, she's the only one that's never been married in that family. Right?
Yeah,
so Kourtney's, or what, Kim's done 3.
Yes.
And then,
I think so. Or
she had
2
one,
for sure.
She had one early on.
Oh, did she?
She's 19. She claimed she was on ecstasy when that happened.
Got it.
And then she had the basketball player, which lasted 72 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kanye.
And Yee.
Yee, that's right, which is another headline because he finally filed the paperwork to change his name officially to not Kanye, it's just Ye. Yay.
Yee. Is it Ye?
Yay?
It's Yee.
I don't know.
It's
I haven't heard him say it.
Yeah, it's Yee.
I've heard a lot of other people say they knew what it was, but
yeah. I'll just go with Yee.
Yee.
He's such a weirdo anyway. It's like whatever. It's just a headline that just goes away. Like you are just so. What would be weird is if you changed your name to Kyle. Just
at least it's a K.
Just something right. Just something normal. That would be the headline.
It really would. I mean, I worry about him because obviously Kim left him. I don't think he left her. I know that there were stories of both ways, but I
think he's fine.
Feeling
I can't imagine. I get the whole.
Did you see him in the airport?
Which
the
one?
picture in the airport? Oh my God, that's what got my
weird,
attention.
He was weird while they were still married. Like I think he's fine. I think the kids are going to be fine. Whatever. The kids are fine. I think both of them are so much better without the other one in their life. And I think Kanye is better with Kim out of his life. I honestly
without
do.
The Kardashians.
Just the Kardashians. Although, I love them. I just can't imagine the stress and the pressure of both those careers. It just seems like so much better. What is that?
He was in the airport wearing a mask.
Oh.
He full head.
How does he go into an airport like that?
I don't know.
I gotta pull my mask down for identification 15 times when you go through Epley.
He was in Venice Airport yesterday. He and Beyonce apparently both strolled through the airport yesterday, and he's in a full-on latex cover his entire head mask.
Wow, yeah, I don't get that.
And because of the lighting, there's different colors of it. Like one, it looks like it's a light green, and another one looks kind of green too. Then one, it looks really, really like stark white. But he looks like a reptilian. Sorry, that's there's another one.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
If I saw somebody wearing that walking towards me, I would flip that blank out. I would think for sure this is it. I've just met my death.
He's just standing there. Oh, God, I got to show you one more just because I want your reaction.
Let me get you a Lazy Susan from that table.
Right? No kidding.
That is creepy. And he's in the airport with that?
Yes.
And no one's like, hey, excuse me, sir?
Mr. Yee.
What are you doing? That is super creepy.
Okay, so now we have to repost those.
Oh, my gosh.
But anyway, so that's what first got my attention today. And then, of course, then I go down the Kardashian wormhole that it is. And then Travis Barker, I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot about him. And then people are worried about Scott. Has anybody checked on Scott? Because Scott's not with anybody right now.
He was with Lisa Rinna's daughter for a while. And
She's 18 when he started dating her.
Yeah, no, that's to brand.
He's 38.
That's to brand for him.
I mean, she's younger than Sophie.
It was
Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah.
It was a pretty decent-sized talking point on Beverly Hills with Rinna, and talking about how she's with Scott Disick. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. But then at the end...
What did Harry say?
Harry, they liked it. I mean,
Harry
they met him and they liked
him.
They met him and liked him, but they had, they broke up before the season was over. So the final episode, they always throw a little slate card at the end with updates on the ladies, and it was like she is no longer with Lord Disick, which is his on Twitter, Instagram, all that.
And he really is. He bought that.
Yeah.
And I did a little deep dive on him because I really
Tell us douchebag. Tell us you're a douchebag without telling us you're a douchebag.
He purchased an online knighting ceremony when he was on a trip to London, and that's why he had that little web series called Lord. What's his last name? Disick. Disick. It's not spelled right. Lord Disick, Lifestyles of a Lord, which was his little takeoff or spinoff from Court and Kim in Miami or whatever. Okay. Yeah, he literally is. I mean, he bought it, so he's a lord. It's just like I have a planet named after me.
You can buy anything.
Whatever. You can buy.
I didn't even know a knighting ceremony was even available. I know you can be a minister.
You can get a knighting kit. Actually, I got one of those. I got to bring that in.
You're a minister?
Yes.
You are one, or you are?
I got the documentation.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Don't ask me any more about it right now. I'll bring it in so we can. I'll show it to you. That was for a whole nother reason. It's hilarious. Anyway, do you remember a show called Hater? H8R. Hater?
No.
He was in it. This was back in 2011.
I don't remember.
And there was a show on it, and his version, when he was on it, his episode, came face to face with a woman who hated him and was trying to convince her to change her mind.
Sounds like a great idea, though. That sounds like a fun idea for a show. Super fun.
Yeah. So I was like, that is... some of the stuff in his resume, and on top of it, the Kardashians are his family, without a doubt, because both his parents died in 2013.
Oh, I guess I did know that, yeah.
And so he's always going to be,
and it is cool. I do like the way, who knows what it really is like, but the impression you get from the show and from social media and from everything is that he's part of the family. He goes to the house. He still goes on vacations with the family. The kids are there. Him and Travis Barker are buddies. Like it's cool. It's like how you in your mind think how it should be after a divorce or whatever, not a divorce, but a separation for the kids and everybody. Like, just because you get a divorce or just because you break up doesn't mean you have to cut every single person out of your life
and delete all the pictures.
Yeah. I would delete all the pictures.
But I did not know that he tried to marry her. That he bought an engagement ring and he was going to propose. And then he said that basically the conversation of marriage came up and she was just like not interested in getting married. Why would we ruin it? Things are fine the way they are. And so he just put it back in his pocket and that was it. So he tried
Maybe she wanted you to try a little harder, buddy.
Maybe push a little harder next time and see what you can get done. But then in his resume or whatever you want to call it, his life story, it goes through this whole list of shows. Because the 2000s, just the early 2000s in particular, but 2000s overall, reality TV is just crazy. Mm-hmm. And so he appeared in an episode of Kingin' with Tyga.
Okay, don't remember that one.
A recurring role with I Am Kate.
I Am Kate. That was that was
Caitlyn
Jenner. Yeah.
Many episodes of Rob and China.
Rob in China. I forgot that he had a show.
And China.
Rob in China.
We forget about him. He's
he wants
the
us
lost
to, though.
Kardashian.
He wants us to. He wants us to. He's back selling his socks just in the quiet. That's all he's doing.
I love it because but he's always tied to China now for the rest of his life, right? Because they had a baby.
Yeah.
Then there was Wild and Out.
Yeah, I've watched that.
Cocktails with Chloe. Then of course Dancing with the Stars he didn't get to go on because he wanted $500,000, and they said, okay, you can walk on. You can walk.
You can want anything you want.
But just looking at some of the names of the shows, it's like, dang, man, there were some good ones out there.
I feel like reality TV has kind of settled down a little bit. Like we discovered what it was with Survivor-ish, maybe a little before,
right?
And then all these ideas just start coming out with I Love New York and all this crazy stuff. And now it's kind of calmed down a little bit, and it's settling down and finding its normal. And so we're those super crazy ones that people are just trying to look for the most obscure plot lines for reality shows. Like those are all going away now.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then back to Kourtney and Travis. So he's been married twice, I believe. He had one marriage before What's Her Bucket? Miss USA, Miss New York, or whatever she was. Who was he was with I can't say her name right now. Travis Barker's first wife. You'll find it.
Okay.
I'm sure you will. Or it'll pop up in my head all of a sudden. I don't know. Shanna Mokler.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So he was with her for a few years, but they were married. So he was married once before that too. Kourtney's never been married. And so of course now they're working on names. What are they going to call him? So somebody says, well, obviously it's going to be Kravis.
Kravis?
And I think it should be Barkdashian.
Oh, I like Barkdashian. Because then right there, they have a whole new line of products for dogs.
Right? Barkdashian.
Love that.
So I saw Kravis. I'm like, I don't like that.
No, Barkdashian is much better.
Definitely Barkdashian.
Yeah.
So Barker Kardashian.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Wow,
so
that's a good one.
That's that. And then Kanye, I don't even know what to do with him. But he is, you're right. He's just, yeah, poor guy.
I know. I don't. Yeah.
They went back through. There was a story that was out here. I think it was from the BBC. Oh, no, maybe not. They're really good about following these stories. But they had every Kardashian engagement ring.
Like what? Who? Do you think the person that has to come up with those ideas is like, look at my life. Look at what I'm doing.
Because like this one that he did is something like, this thing is huge. I mean, just unbelievable. It's a massive oval shape diamond that apparently he was involved in designing. But the one who designed it, the place he got it, she's designed several other of their engagement rings for the Kardashian girls. And she's also worked with Meghan Markle.
Okay, fancy.
Blake Lively. There were some others in there. Oh, Beyonce's $5 million emerald cut ring, if you might remember that one.
I don't remember it, but I'm surprised it's so small.
Trust me, it's true. Yeah, but she's done several of those. So they had a whole list of all the rings that were out there. I'm like, my God.
We were when we were in Orlando a couple of weeks ago. One of our company photographer that we use, his name is Ryan Loco. We've talked about him before. He's awesome. Yes. He was down there, and we were talking about like just. I don't even know how we got on the subject. Oh, we were looking through like some of his pictures or whatever, and some of them were like engagement photos. So got on the subject of how he's married. They've been married like 7 years, how they got engaged. And this was the most unique story. He proposed to his wife with a rock from the middle of a volcano. That he didn't steal it, but it was like a national park. Not supposed to take it out of there.
How did he go get it?
He was on a tour, like a little tour.
Oh, okay.
And the guy at the beginning of the tour was like, you can't take anything out of here. So he went to tie his shoe and grabbed a little pebble, put it in a sock.
Oh my God.
And had a ring made out of it. I mean, what a cool, how many other women in this world or men, whoever, have a volcano rock as an engagement ring? He's like, but unfortunately, she liked it, but she's like, okay, so where's the diamond?
Yeah.
So he had to get a diamond.
You just got to wait another million years.
Right. Yeah. And sit on it every day.
Lots
pressure.
Lots of pressure. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Very creative.
Interesting. Let's see. What else went on this week? Oh, I got a new phone.
And you didn't get an iPhone?
No. I had one once, and that was enough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God is right.
You people, whoever has special friends that have Androids and they're in like the loop of text chains and everything, you are the person that makes that text chain not blue, so I can't add a name to the chat and a picture of the chat or whatever.
Oh no.
Yes, and I get triggered. You and Sasha, and I'm on like 3 different text chains with different shows with Sasha, and they're all freaking green, and it's absolutely triggering to me.
I'll be sure to text you frequently. Let me get a little.
It was actually discussed at very high levels to get everyone in this bill. If you have an iPhone, you get a company or Android, you get a company iPhone with a separate number.
I can understand. I'm surprised, honestly, the bill doesn't do that.
I think, yeah. I don't know if it's made it up that high yet, but
he's made us all. I mean, if in your office, it's Apple. It's Apple. So everybody can talk to each other, right? We're all in the same.
And
stuff.
it really is. It really is slick. I know you didn't like it, but it's changed a lot.
I love my phone.
I know,
and I thought about getting one of the new fancy ones that are like the folders, the foldy ones. I looked at those.
I know that's a super cool concept, super cool. But I would think, when would I ever sit and watch a movie on foldy?
I know, and they have the one that folds that's like real big, and then they have the smaller one that just like the little clamshell used to be.
I mean, it'd be super cool.
But I ended up just getting the Note because I had a Galaxy Note. That's what I had, Samsung Note.
And I loved the Notes when they first came out, and I thought I was gonna love the little stylus pen. I used it one time.
That's why the Note now the one I have doesn't have the stylus pen because that's what happened to me. I had a Note 8, now I have a Note 20. So you see, it's been a minute.
She's just back now dating, and she's wearing an outfit from 2001 at the bar. Hey, what's up, boys? You guys see Survivor last night?
Exactly. So anyway, because that was one of the same thing that I said. I said, I don't want the pen. Because it was just like 10 days ago, I dropped my phone. And it has a case on it. Everything was fine, but the stylus pen fell out, right? And by the time I got into Hy-Vee, then I get the notification that, hey, you got your pen? No. Okay, I wish it would have gone off a little bit sooner before I walked across the parking lot. And so I went in and did my stuff, and I thought, well, I'll just walk back the same way and find it.
No.
Couldn't find it.
Because somebody else found it and took it, probably.
Probably. I don't know why you'd pick up a stylus pen, because it's not going to fit in your phone.
Right, like who does any stylus pen work on their phone?
Nobody uses it.
Nobody ever uses it.
So anyway, then about 4 days later, I dropped my phone again. And that time it landed just right on the corner and just shattered it. It wasn't like you couldn't see, but it was flickering like crazy. And then the port wouldn't work and I couldn't charge it in the truck.
Yeah.
And so I was running out of juice. I have a wireless at home. Could have probably just.
This sounds like a Nicolas Cage movie, like super intense.
Right? No, terrible. So I was like, I need a phone. And so then I'm going to the phone store. I need a phone. And there's like an hour and a half wait everywhere I went.
Yeah, dumb.
So I went to Best Buy, and I bought it because it wasn't a wait.
Did they still have like limitations on how many people could be in the store? Because T-Mobile did about 6 months ago still, and you'd have to go inside, check in, and go wait in your car. Sometimes it's 45 minutes to an hour. It was dumb.
No, there was no wait.
It was dumb.
Yeah, there were people in there. So I got the phone. But now, if anybody has one of these, and I'm probably the only one in town according to Pat, but if anybody does have one of these, can you tell me why every time I open it after I hit my lock screen and I go past it, it does this little trick where it pops up and it says, boop, I'm going to show you this, what it looks like, Pat, so you can see it too.
Okay.
Go back. Okay. So, my really cool, slick lock screen, which is the Huskers. Anyway, so when I hit this and I unlock it, and then this thing pops up every time, and it says complete action using, and it gives you the choice of Samsung Internet, Chrome.
I think you may. Are you holding?
Do I have to just pick one and just say
maybe,
always and that's it?
Yeah, maybe I would. But yeah, that's kind of weird. Probably
and then when it does, it always goes to the last website that I was on.
Pornhub?
No, that's Tappy Tech. That doesn't
sorry.
What? That's the Tappy.
Yeah.
Tappy Tech, which is those little cards.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell
you.
you.
And I can't get that to go away. Just go to.
I don't know.
I'll figure it out.
But I don't know what to tell you about that. I can call. There's like I don't know what clinic to call to get you some help for that.
There's no Samsung desk or whatever you call it. But anyway, when I was talking to Andrea, who was just on our last episode, she has Waze, so for your GPS, and she showed me how to, because I didn't use Waze. Does she have an Android too? Mm-hmm. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. She about fainted when she saw my phone.
Okay, good.
She just said no.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, I had Waze on, but I wasn't using it for my GPS. And she said, oh, yeah, because you can change your voices up and you can add famous people and all this other stuff. So now you got Waze. Yeah. So I'm doing that. So that's good.
Okay. It's exciting.
And then I watched something really good last night on Netflix, apparently.
I took a picture for something on the homepage of Hulu for you. And I forgot to tell you, come on, Hulu, shake yourself. Let's try a little harder. They have the Nick Cage collection.
What?
And I scrolled and it was all these absolutely garbage movies from Nicolas Cage. It was the whole thing. I literally took a picture and it was Sunday morning. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
I'm writing
And
this
the
down.
first one is Racing with the Moon. Like, what? And the next one is Grand Isle.
I don't know any of these.
Oh my gosh. I see. Yeah. So I was going to tell you about that earlier, but I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So you saw what on Netflix?
There's a show I found on Netflix, and I'd never seen it before. It's called The Movies That Made Us.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in season 3, just started.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it.
So I started from season 1, and the first episode is Dirty Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was shocked, I tell you, to find out that Dirty Dancing originally, who they wanted was Billy Zane and Sarah Jessica Parker. And Billy Zane
That would have been pre-Titanic.
Yeah.
Way pre-Titanic.
So if you don't, Billy Zane was the husband-to-be of Rose. Mm-hmm. And so Billy Zane, it was pre.
Like pre.
And Sarah Jessica Parker. And instead, Patrick Swayze, when he would come up in auditions, it had him as an actor, but it said no dancing on his, because he didn't want to do something because he had hurt his knee and had injuries, and he didn't want to do something with dancing. And Lisa was on it too, his wife, his widow. She was on the episode as, and she was telling the story about this whole thing. And he suffered quite a bit when they did the dances. Like when he jumped off the stage at the very end and landed, he did that like 6 times trying to get the perfect landing because he kept landing wrong and limping
Oh my God,
off.
that's terrible.
Right?
Good Lord.
And that he and Jennifer Grey did not get along at first because apparently there was a history between them and the movie Red Dawn.
I've heard about that. Not the Red Dawn. I didn't know it was Red Dawn, but I heard that there was a history, not a very kind history between the two of them.
And so they literally, before they decided to do the movie, they put the two of them in a room together and made them work it out, and they both came out in tears. And
Perfect.
They were all good.
That's awesome. Great idea. You guys we're doing this. Yeah. So you guys get in there, do what you got to do.
Figure it out. Figure it out. And then when they first came out, when they first got done with the movie, and this was done by, really low budget. And they got done and they had big Hollywood guy, this guy that's produced all of Trading Places and The Rose. At the time, apparently he was something. And he told them to burn the negative and collect the insurance.
Wow.
And it came out with an R rating from the Motion Picture Association. And there were 2 women that put this together too. The one who came up with the storyline and the one that made it happen.
Yeah.
And the one woman, she said, basically, I bargained with them. I said, if I take out 2 Fs and a shit, do we get a P13? And they said it can be arranged.
Done. I think they could have. Oh, that's funny. 2 Fs and a shit. We could cuss in our titles. That would be the title. So do you watch the show Big Sky?
I have not. I've not got started on that.
Well, okay. I liked it. We watched the first few episodes and it got super cheesy, so we stopped. But then we picked back up.
You know what I do?
It's good.
That's right. That's what I did. I probably watched 2 episodes. And I was like, I can't.
Beth and I, in the middle of the second episode, I'm like, "Are you done?" She goes, "I'm over it." So we stopped.
But you keep seeing it popping up and people talking about it,
and people like a whole bunch of her friends like, "You gotta watch it. Give it another chance." So we did, and now it's really. We're not hooked, but it's a good show.
Right.
One of the characters on there said "a-hole."
Oh.
Like the whole word on CBS. So they're worried about bleeping 2 Fs and a shit.
Back then.
And then on whatever network TV is now, but they dropped that.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It was weird. It just was weird.
Isn't it funny how that just like it gets you right? Right instantly that's not supposed to happen.
Same TV, you watch movies where there's everything in it, but you just know when you're watching a TV show, it just seems odd.
It's so throttled down. And the other thing that the movie had going against it was because there's the abortion scene and the whole conversation of that that was in there.
Yeah.
And one of their first sponsors backed out because of it, and it was Claricel. And they said, no.
Oh. 2021 looks back in time and just goes, oh my God.
You
guys have no idea what I have in store for you. No clue.
Oh, Claricel.
Oh, God.
Let's go with it.
Oh,
so
Claricel.
anyway, the movie made bazillions of monies and it was interesting the way they had it set up financially. It was just interesting listening to 2 women talk.
I love the stories behind the scenes the way things like movies, TV shows, whatever, how they come to be.
And this was stuff I did not know about this movie. And
And you'd think by now you'd know everything.
should. Yeah. So we'll leave you with that.
All right.
There you go.
So you
Time
guys-
of my life right
thanks,
there.
That's it.
There it is.
Thank you guys for listening to our show. It's Pat and JT, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.